One of the brightest inventors in history. A man who could have made billions, but instead ended his life in poverty. Too intelligent to understand simple things, or perhaps an innocent in a world of vultures. A man whose mission was human progress. Science is nothing but a perversion if its ultimate goal is not the improvement of humanity's conditions.
An enigmatic figure who measured what he ate, who did things only divisible by 3, who believed in UFOs and saw things in his head that even the best engineers couldn't understand. The man I'm about to speak of is one of the brightest minds in the world. And this gentleman didn't get what he deserved from life.
Guys, make yourselves comfortable because today we're talking about Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was born on July 10th, 1856 in Smiljan, a small village that was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire at the time, now in Croatia. From a young age, Tesla displayed an incredible ability to learn, particularly in mathematics and physics. His father, a priest, wanted him to become a clergyman, but Tesla had different ambitions. He moved to Graz, Austria, to study electrical engineering and later to Prague to continue his education. During his early years, Tesla developed a passion for inventions and a mind that already set him apart for his futuristic vision. During his early years, Tesla developed a passion for inventions and a mind that already set him apart for his futuristic vision. But it wasn't an easy start. His university career was marked by financial and personal struggles, which eventually forced him to abandon his studies without graduating. But later, Tesla enrolled at the Technical University of Graz in Austria, which at the time was one of the best institutions in the world. There, Nikola specialized in electrical engineering, with a strong interest in a force that was destined to change the world. But wait, I told you a lie. Nikola didn't specialize in anything. In fact, it seems he dropped out of university in his 3rd year and never graduated. However, there is some uncertainty and doubt around this. What we do know is that Tesla had an incredible memory, which allowed him to learn anything instantly. He could memorize entire books. And Nikola could perform integral calculations in his head. And anyone who has studied mathematics knows how difficult that is. Nikola Tesla, despite being a genius, was not immune to strange and sometimes unsettling experiences, which some have interpreted as hallucinations. Throughout his life, Tesla claimed to have visions and ideas that came to him suddenly and enlighteningly. One of his most remarkable traits was his ability to visualize entire devices and inventions in his mind as if he were watching a movie. He was so precise that he could often build his prototypes without the need for drawings or models. However, Tesla also spoke of experiences that bordered on true hallucinations. At times, he claimed to see such intense images and sounds that he couldn't distinguish reality from his mind. On one occasion, he described seeing an intense light that struck him and gave him visions of scientific ideas. This would happen especially during periods of intense mental fatigue and stress, when he worked non-stop, sometimes for days on end. Tesla also had a complicated relationship with his mental health. Some of his psychological and neurological experiments, including his attempts to understand the nature of energy, led him to a kind of sensory overload. He particularly suffered from severe insomnia, which heightened his kuntainde, perceptions. It was said that he could sense electrical changes in the air, and sometimes these sounds disturbed him to the point where he couldn't focus. Additionally, Tesla was convinced that UFOs existed, a belief that made him even more enigmatic. He claimed that these beings from space were one day destined to appear on Earth, a vision that in some ways anticipated the growing fascination with UFOs that would emerge in the 20th century. Additionally, Tesla was convinced that UFOs existed, a belief that made him even more enigmatic. He claimed that these beings from space were one day destined to appear on Earth, a vision that in some ways anticipated the growing fascination with UFOs that would emerge in the 20th century. What makes Tesla even more fascinating is that despite experiencing these moments of mental fragility and visions, his mind was still able to produce extraordinary discoveries that changed the world. What makes Tesla even more fascinating is that despite experiencing these moments of mental fragility and visions, his mind was still able to produce extraordinary discoveries that changed the world. But for him, health problems were serious. However, he recovered just in time to escape the conscription of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. He didn't want to serve in the military as he was frail and in poor health, but even the escape itself took a heavy toll on his body. To survive, he had to learn how to hunt.
In 1875, he enrolled at the Royal Technical College in Graz, the university where he impressed his professors and became passionate about electricity. But once again, Nikola did not earn a degree, dropping out in 1878. It is believed that he was expelled. After leaving school, Nikola disappeared from the public eye.
Nikola appears in Maribor, a city in present-day Slovenia, where he works as an electrical engineer. But he returns home because he cannot find a stable job, and the authorities send him back. Once home, he will witness the death of his father, who passes away at the age of 60.
In 1879, he begins teaching at a school near home, the same one he had attended as a young boy. But this isn't the life he dreams of. At least, though, he manages to make some money.
In 1879, he begins teaching at a school near home, the same one he had attended as a young boy. But this isn't the life he dreams of. At least, though, he manages to make some money. In 1880, something changes. Two uncles give him money to study in Prague. However, the experience turns out to be horrible. He was already past the deadline for enrollment, but Nikola doesn't give up and doesn't want to waste the money. He attends philosophy courses instead. But Tesla is trapped in a limbo. He has immense, extraordinary talent. He wants to study, learn, and invent, but he can't break through.
In 1881, Tesla moves to Budapest, but not to study. Instead, he works with Tivadar Puskas, a great Canadian inventor who had invented telephony. There, he works in his experimental telephone company as the chief electrician, also improving the equipment.
It was a good job, well paid, and everyone was satisfied. So much so that Puskas decides to send him to work elsewhere. With whom? Let's see now. But now, before we begin, let's start with the concept of electricity and see what it is.
Electricity is a form of energy that manifests through the movement of charged particles, such as electrons. Essentially, when these particles move, they create a flow of energy that can be used to do work like powering electronic devices, lighting bulbs, or running motors.
Electricity is divided into two main types. Static electricity. This occurs when there is an accumulation of electric charges on an object. For example, when you rub a balloon on your hair and then bring it close to a wall, the balloon can stick because of the electric charges that transfer. It is a phenomenon that does not involve
a continuous flow of electrons, but rather an accumulation and subsequent release of charge, current electricity. This is the continuous flow of electrons through a conductor like a metal wire. This type of electricity is what we use daily in our homes and industries. Electric current can be either direct current, DC, or alternating current, AC. Direct current DC always flows in the same direction, while alternating current AC changes direction periodically. The force that moves electrons is called voltage, measured in volts, and the amount of electricity that passes through a conductor in a given time is called the current measured in amperes. Tesla developed a system for electricity distribution based on alternating current, which overcame many of the limitations of direct current, which was primarily used by Thomas Edison at the time. Direct current, DC, had significant drawbacks for long-distance transmission. Energy was lost as heat along the way. Alternating current, on the other hand, because it can easily be transformed to different voltages, allowed electricity to be transmitted over great distances with minimal energy loss. Tesla not only invented the alternating current motor, but also designed the entire system for generating, transmitting, and distributing electrical power. His system used transformers to step up or step down the voltage, making it possible to transmit electricity over long distances without significant energy loss. These transmission systems are still in use today worldwide. Tesla's AC system remains the basis for most of our electricity distribution today. It is cheaper to produce and transport over long distances compared to direct current, and it allows for easy conversion between different voltage levels, which is essential for adapting energy to various needs, from power plants to household appliances. The evening of 1882 is a significant moment in Nikola Tesla's life. It was around this time that, during a walk in Budapest, Tesla had a sort of epiphany about the alternating current motor. It is said that Tesla was reflecting on how to create a motor that would run on alternating current, when, suddenly, as if a vision had appeared in his mind, he realized how to solve the problem.
According to reports, Tesla clearly saw in his mind the design of the alternating current motor, a motor that would use the sinusoidal flow of alternating current to produce rotary motion. This moment was crucial for Tesla, as he understood how to create a motor that would operate without brushes, a feature that would revolutionize electricity as we know it today. It was a true vision that allowed him to calculate, design, and develop a motor that would change the world. Tesla himself described this experience as a moment of total clarity, during which the solution was presented to him without mistakes or doubts. This event marked the birth of one of the most important inventions of his career, which would lead to the creation of alternating current motors, essential for the electricity distribution system that would dominate the future.
That evening, in 1882, Tesla not only saw a technical solution, but he also realized that his work would not just be innovative, but would have a lasting impact on society, bringing about a true revolution in how the world would use electricity.
But what changed everything was the meeting with Thomas Edison.